Chat, everybody. We had some technical difficulties. So I'm obviously going to introduce myself. It's Marco here from Kessel Run with LACHY, our good friend. We just had getting into this Zoom call. So you're going to see the beginning of this a little bit, how can I put it? You're going to see me talk and then LACHY talk. So hopefully it's not too confusing, but we figured out how to do the split screen. Nice. So we're going to cut to the beginning of our conversation, and then we're going to pick up right now where we left off when we were just cut off by Zoom.
Cut in half, just like MAUL.
I'll start with chat, everybody, and welcome to Punch It Podcast. Special episode with a special guest, our mate and our good friend, LACHY. How you going, brother?
Very well, sir. How you been?
Very, very good. It's been an awesome weekend. We had a great weekend on our first anniversary, and having you here and the fans was here. Brilliant. A lot of people.
Yeah, it was bustling. Like when I rocked up at 10, I was amazed at how many people were there already.
Yeah.
And the cosplayers was brilliant.
Great job. One of the Ben, his name is he came in first thing like 8:30, and he was there as Jedi Ben in his Obi-Wan Kenobi robes, and he was ready to rock and roll, and he did he was good. So he stayed with his partner and his mate. They all hung out, and people were like, seriously, some people had to wait. I kid you not, close to an hour and a half, nearly 2 hours for a haircut, because it was, and everyone was good. Everyone was in good vibes. You know what I mean? Everyone was just happy, and they patient. And then when the lads did the sausage sizzle, funny, you know what? I can never say that. Every time I say sausage sizzle, it comes out weird.
It was delicious.
They did a good job.
I had multiple.
That's good. We went through heaps. And the rain was killer, but honestly, having the cosplayers, we had Shore Trooper, we had 2 Jedi,
Snow Trooper,
obviously Captain Rex is a legend, and we had afterward
there was a sleuth of Jedi. Like later on in the day, well, about 11 something, there was heaps.
Yeah,
there was like 4 or 5 of them.
Who came? Was he a scout trooper? Scout trooper lad came.
Yes.
Out of nowhere, I saw a scout trooper there.
Yeah, I got a really funny photo. He was just stopped watching the Obi-Wan Darth Maul fight from Phantom Menace, and my son was crawling towards him, and then I had to pick him up, and then it was just me, my son, and this Shore Trooper having a chat about the speed of the frame rates.
That's awesome.
For the movie, because they had to slow it down because they were too fast back in the day.
That's awesome. Do you like do you like knowing a lot about the behind the scenes stuff?
I get a big kick out of it. Don't have heaps of books, but I've got one book that I almost call the Bible. It was written by John Knoll, and it's just a picture book. It's like this long.
John Knoll, legend.
But it's this thick. It's like I think it's called 365 days of behind the scenes photos. So every day you get a different page, obviously, and it starts from the prequels all the way to Jedi. Really? And then I do enjoy watching behind the scenes docos and things. I've always loved it with all movies. I'm passionate about how movies are made. So
yeah, that's one thing. Sometimes I like, as we say, I don't like watching much of the behind the scenes. I try to avoid it. I don't know why. It's just, sometimes I watch it, but then I'm like, nah. Even like with MAUL, for example, they were showing some behind the scenes stuff. I just don't like to. I'll do it. I'll end up doing it, but I'll do it later. I'll do it like one day when I just feel like, let's put it on. But like I honestly, even with all the original OTs and the prequels, didn't watch any of them until only a few years ago. Even though like I could have got onto it, but I just prefer the mind, the imagination. You just get into it. Sometimes you start picking up things though. Now you start picking up things like if there was a pickup, or like they They reshot us,
like reshoots,
yeah, and stuff like that, which is pretty cool.
wigs, especially. Like you can tell in, I think it's the Phantom Menace again. You can tell that Obi-Wan's hair is a wig instead of his real slicked back cut, like trimmed hair.
I always find in I don't know if it's maybe the way they shot it, but again, I don't know. I don't. It's in the Camino scene when Obi-Wan goes and it's raining and he's sitting there and he's sitting down and he's like that, and they go um, clones, and he starts asking Master Cypher Deers, and his beard just looks very unnatural. Now, I don't know if it's because he's wet, but every time I look at just there's a scene where it looks, and I've you take a photo and you've got to just kind of, and I'm not sure if it's real or it's not real. One image looks natural and the other one looks like it's completely fake. But oh, I love the scenes behind you right now.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to get. You
Yeah.
shouldn't get in trouble because it has no sound.
Oh,
So,
that's cool. Well, I saw Obi-Wan Kenobi just behind you, hovering.
Panaka.
Yeah, that's wild. What do you got behind you anyway? Is that all your VHS collection?
Yes. So over here is like all the R-rated things, and if I go like up, there's a Millennium Falcon from 1995, some Phantom Menace toys,
Beautiful.
and then just some Power of the Force stuff in there. And then it goes all the way down to right down to the kids' stuff down the bottom.
And the little ones
There's
can take whatever you
a,
want.
yeah, and then behind me, behind the TV, there's more kids' movies, and then over here there's, but literally wall to wall of VHS and on the floor.
Nice.
So yeah, it keeps me busy. I've run out of room officially. I need more shelving.
Man, we all do. We were just discussing that before. We just need another glass cabinet because Mick's going to bring in his what do you call it, Vader, Mythos Vader. He's going to bring.
Is that the same as? Is that the same as the Darth Maul, that big statue you've got? Is it the same sort of style?
Guys from, I call them Knuckle Brothers or something, Knuckle Bear Brothers. They're awesome, man. We always send them photos and they love our stuff, which is cool. But they did Ventress, beautiful one of Ventress. Mick's got all. He's got Ventress, Palpatine, Maul. They did Kenobi. They did a Mythos Kenobi, and they did a Mythos Yoda, I believe. And the Boba Fett. I think the Boba Fett's a Mythos as well. But the ones that stick out the most are the Sidious, where he's up in the air and he's like that, and Force Lightning's coming out, and Asajj is like, she's just beautiful red dress just swaying in the wind, and she's on top of, I think it's like some sort of skull, if I can recall. Then there's Vader, who's on a like Vader down like a busted up ship. The engine is just on flame. It's all in flames, and he's got the flames sort of.
I've definitely seen that one. That is brilliant.
Yeah, so that's coming. Mick's going to bring that in during the week. We just got to find a spot for it, and that looks magnificent. And those statues they're just primo. The Maul's beautiful. Maul's awesome because he rests on. He's in the air. There's two heads that come with it. There's the horns, his large horns from when he was with his spider legs, and one with just a normal one, but they're fierce open mouth, one where it's closed, and it's just on a statue of Palpatine's head, like Darth.
That's insane.
It's ripper, man, and these guys they're just so good. They do heaps of different ones and stuff like that, but yeah, well, that's what we need some more. Because like I said, just moving things around. Oh, here at the moment, I've just got a lot of my MAUL stuff. This is just a little MAUL shrine. I've got heaps more around, but nice little backdrop. These are posters I got from a friend of mine who worked at Lucasfilm, and she worked for ILM, sorry, and she would always bring me some cool stuff. I was very lucky, and love the Bad Batch one.
That Jedi one in the middle, I'm pretty sure it was done by an artist called Matt Ferguson. who's been doing he does a lot of Aliens, and he's done a lot of Star Wars. He did a Mandalorian poster recently for the movie,
Oh, that
which
one,
looks great
the new
too.
one that just came out.
This one was a couple of weeks ago, but it had like him and Grogu in the center, and it was like a bluey shade. And then they've got mini rigs in the very background. Like it was, I'll find it afterwards. But yeah, phenomenal. And he did the Alien Romulus VHS cover for the official VHS release of that movie.
Has he ever come down to?
Very hard to get.
Has he ever come to the cons?
I don't think he comes down to Australia because he's based in America, but I could be wrong.
That'd be
But
wild.
yeah, he's fascinating.
That's good. Good artists, man. It's nice when people do some really cool visuals. And they're nice, so they're not too big, so they just sit beautifully, you know, nice little backdrop. And I've got, she gave me
That's what I was going for with the Phantom Menace and that. I was like, I gotta have something going on.
Oh, the backdrop is good, man. You need the backdrop, man. And like I said, I just went and got a light just to light up, because, you know, make it a bit more exciting. But you know what, brother? One of the reasons why we started this is because you know what, it's nice to have a good chat about Star Wars, and always chat with someone you know you have a good time with, and have a good connection with. But we both have a big connection with the episode and the series Darth Maul, Shadow Lord, and we were pretty. I don't even know how you describe last night's episodes. You know, before you talk, because I do want to say, I'd love to hear before you talk. What are your thoughts about the previous, before the last two episodes? What was your thought? Like, where were you going with it?
I sort of I had this thing in my head that Vader had to be in it somewhere. I just didn't know if they were going to do it because it's Vader, you know, so it's hard to use him correctly. So when it left on the cliffhanger of 7 and 8, I was like, they're stuck in a pretty sticky situation. So I knew the final two episodes were going to just be all hustle and bustle and, you know, barely any time to breathe. And that's what we got.
Were you surprised? Like, as in, like, because me, I wasn't, like, the way these last two finished, even though I wasn't like, I love the fact that I wasn't expecting what I was expecting or what I was going to see. Like, I've enjoyed that. It's been such an amazing ride in these from the beginning, and the way the colors come together and the way that the stories flowed. But I would like, yeah, the last two episodes, the way it finished, like, I had ideas like talking about, you know, I reckon this is going to happen, that's going to happen, or maybe we'll go in this direction. But the only thing that I've kind of was sort of on par is just, obviously we know that he and Devon are going to come together, but he's, I don't know how to explain it. He's such a good dude. You know what I mean? I wouldn't expect him to be so, you know.
But he is also the master manipulator. Like, that is what from the very get-go, you know, he's being nice and he's being compassionate. I think, one, because he had endured so much torture and pain and suffering throughout his whole life. So, yeah, there is real compassion there, but he is also working towards, I need her to help me. So it's very much, I'll be nice to her, because if I'm a dick, like, she's not going to come over to my side. So it was even like, he could sense Devon in trouble. That's when he force pushes Docky towards Vader, and he's like, I'm out. Because if I don't get to Devon now, she's dead and my plans are done.
That's right.
So Docky's got to go.
I had to rewind that. I had to go back and watch that again, just because I was like, wait, I
didn't notice it the first time either. and it was very much. I was taken aback. Like and even Docky, like, sort of looks at him, does a double take, like, "What are you doing? Like, we were working together, and you've just sent me to my death." So he's always like a few steps ahead. But
I found the way Maul is. I say a lot to his dialogue, how smooth, even when he was speaking to Rook and so forth. You know, he only got angry a few times when he got a little bit frustrated, but obviously when he was cornered and so forth. But I loved his dialogue, the way he would speak. It was just very calm. You know, one of my favorite
it's very
lines,
Shakespearean.
very Shakespearean, but one of my favorite lines from the other night was when she goes, "What are we going to do with the old man?" And he goes, "Brooke, please have some medic. He's a master Jedi." You know, like he just said, "Wait, treat him with a bit more respect." And then when I heard that, I was like, I was like, "That's fantastic, beautiful." You know, and here they are trying to, you know, either double cross him or whatever, get what he needs from him, but yet that little bit of, you know, because no one else heard him. It was just he speaking to her. I like their relationship too. I like Rook and Maul's relationship. I like she was very strong with him. She could say what she needed to without disrespecting or whatever. And when she needed to speak up, and he listened, you know, he took her advice. He wasn't like he was just always shutting her down.
It was a very real partnership. It wasn't like I'm above you or I'm beneath you. It was very on level terms. I found, and I guess because she has been loyal since the Clone Wars and when he took over Mandalore, she even says, like, I've followed you since you took over Mandalore or became the ruler of Mandalore. I just want to know where you're heading with this, because the other guys, they need to be paid.
That's right.
You know, they're not loyal. They need to be paid.
I love that too. You know, seeing that side of the Mandalorians, that was awesome. And you know, that I thought all the Mandalorians, the whole crew together was really, really, really intense, really awesome. You know, again, watching them from the beginning, watching Icarus and the other brother together grow, and you know, again, not saying too much, but just being there, being so strong, being right behind him, doing whatever he needs. You know, they put all their trust in more. I love that. That was pure gangster stuff. Awesome.
Those two Zabraks, the brothers Icarus and I'm forgetting the other one, but
Only Icarus I've only got in the pop.
they, like, and you do find out they're brothers because when one gets stabbed in the chest, he screams out, "Brother!" And
That
you're
was a
like,
double brother
"Oh
episode.
my god!" Yeah, that brother, the echo.
That was too good.
It's that flashback was just incredible. But what I found about them is, like, when I was watching it, I was like, what's the payoff? Like, they are very much just goons. Like, they're Maul's goons. But there was always going to be something more about them, whether it was told in depth or just through visuals. And I think last night's episode showed more about one character than, like, the whole show, which is when the one brother's getting shot, you know, and he throws the knives into the troopers and then sacrifices himself by tackling them off into the acid. You know, it basically says, "I will die for Maul." You know, and I was just like, I was taken aback by that massively, because
he took a few bullets. That guy there, he just kept going.
oh, absolutely.
You know, again, they didn't bring any of those guys out in the Black Series, which is a shame because they would have looked awesome. Hopefully, they do later.
I was about to say they've got to be coming, because they've only had, out of the Black Series, Maul and Devon. Yes,
no, Maul, Devon, Rook, and Scarecrow
Rook.
Crow are the only ones. So there's no one else. But hopefully, we see the others come and suit. But yeah, the whole story's just been, it's been again, and you could see they're talking about all over the place. Just the best animation. Like someone said yesterday, they've had time, they've learned, and they've been able to develop and come with these stories. And like Sam Witwer just plays everything to perfection, man, absolute perfection.
I think it helped that he was like not a showrunner, but like a high producer on the show as well. Because that dude's knowledge on Star Wars is
Unbelievable.
like, yeah, it's incredible. So to have him as, you know, MAUL himself, and to see where they've actually taken it with, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's just
No,
like
I know exactly what you're saying.
it
Having
was
his
in
input.
good hands. Yeah, his input would help. If they were stuck, he would be like, well, you could do this and that, and, you know, vice versa. And
Also, like you're saying that, having the freedom to say what needs to be said about the story and his development, as I've said in a couple of others interviews, now he gets a chance to say what's on his mind, or it's his story. And, but the other thing, one thing I love about the way the story has progressed, um, like it's flowing. It's not like the story's continuing. It's not like it's an arc and then we're done with it or this and that. It's very much a beautiful story that's just moving along. And I don't know, I was just thinking the other night after watching this that the way this is going and introducing Vader, is this, or do you think that like this is a way for them to introduce Vader and his story and his time in the galaxy that we haven't seen a bit more now? Like, you're introducing it, you're seeing that everyone's hyped up about it, whether it's a animation or whatever. But I wonder if this is a little bit of also a push for Vader's story to continue.
I I personally believe from watching the episodes last night that they will continue, because now Devon has a she has a revenge plot.
Mm,
Vader killed Docky.
mm,
I want to kill Vader. She goes, I want to kill, not word for word, but she's like, I want to kill him. And Maul's like, not yet. Come with me. I'll
mm.
train you.
How good
You're
was
not
that look?
strong enough.
How good was that look?
Oh,
Just that finale. Didn't have to say anything. Just that look. Bang. Awesome.
do you know the again? I'm watching it again last night. When Maul hands her the lightsaber, or like she takes it out with the Force, and she ignites the red saber, Maul stands right beside her and looks at her and smiles, because he's like, "Oh, this is happening. Yeah, my
This
plan
is good.
worked." He's like, "This is what I've been fighting for
That's good.
10 episodes." Like, he succeeded.
Good. Absolutely. You
So
could see just like, oh, finally, just it's all coming together. But even the way he just put out that, and he just went like that, he just put up the saber.
yeah,
Just
and
and
she
look,
just
and
goes with the
everything
Force.
flew again. Like I was saying, the way it flew, the story flew. Like she was battling, and then her Jedi saber just bounced off and bounced away. It was gone. Like how she got, and that was that opening. That was her coming to the dark side, taking his sword. It's part of Maul's with her now. Brilliant.
But I love how it wasn't like she wasn't originally evil. What this show did perfectly for me was show somebody's honest. It's not even a downfall.
Mm,
It's just a fall from the light, but it's only a perspective. Like Maul trying to say, "Hey, I'm not the villain. The Jedi's are outlawed. Your life that you once knew is no more.
mm,
So come with me. You're wasting your potential as a Force user by hiding in the shadows
mm,
and underground with your master.
mm,
Come with me and use your powers to your best of your abilities."
mm,
And every time that you would see the interactions with Maul, she would get swayed even more, and it
mm.
was it was that Master Docky that was holding her back. So eliminating him, just it's like full send. That was the last catalyst to get her into where she needed to be.
Yeah. And what was so good as well, and each episode, that little bit, you could see Ducky losing her. Like, he would, one of the first lines he said, was, I hear your words, but they're not yours. They're coming from MAUL. He could see straight away, sensing. And then when she had the vision with him, he was like, he knew he was losing her. He was like, that's huge. You have a connection with him. And by the way,
it's too easy to get into her head.
but the connection they had, how good was that previous episode when they were battling, and she just, she could have run off, but she goes, no, I'm going to stay. I'm going to help you. He helped me. I want to help you. That's what I thought. She's in.
She is by far one of my favorite characters, and I don't really I struggle with new Star Wars. I really do. I had a dark period of fandom over the last 2 years where I was like, I'm not connecting to anything they're putting out. So when MAUL gets an apprentice, or is throughout the show grooming her to be an apprentice, I was like, the voice actress is selling it for me. The animation is selling it for me. Her storyline and her turmoil and her pain sold it for me. I was like, this is how you write a character. And for me, I'm like, I don't really collect Black Series anymore, but I was like, I need MAUL, I need Docky, I need Devon, I need the Inquisitors, I need another Vader. I am in.
100%. I think too, and it's hard not to kind of also look at her growth in the sense of the way Ahsoka came along, except that, as far as you're seeing this young character develop and have the strength and so forth, and she fought like a young Ahsoka. She fought like no other Jedi of her age that we'd seen fight in a battle. That was so she took on 2 Inquisitors at a time, sometimes by herself, and surviving, even with Vader. Like that again alone says to the power that she's got and the ability that she's got. So she was trained really well, but she's just got that natural a way to wield that lightsaber and fight that duel, that fighting. Because again, in all the series, the whole series, you cannot fault any of the scenes, whether it was blasters fires, like combat, or the saber duels. Everything was on point. It was just unbelievable.
It was. I posted this afternoon on my lunch break a whole bunch of, because when I watched it again last night, I screenshot a whole bunch of things, and
the spoiler alert thing.
I did that one for the Vader stuff, but I really posted more stuff because I was like, it's visually, it is the best Star Wars has looked. And I know people will be like, well, Clone Wars was awesome. Season 7, fantastic. But this, I know it's such a stylistic choice to have the almost matte paintings with painting the backgrounds on glass and adding, live action elements in. It just I cannot fault. You press stop on your TV at any given point in time, you could print it out, frame it, put it up on your wall. It is beautiful.
And you only got, I look at Clone Wars, for example, or Rebels, there's a couple of moments like that. But you're right, in this one, we got heaps. We were spoiled with the beauty that these animators had created. Like the one they took that photo of that lightsaber when they're all with the 5 of them.
Yeah,
it was 5.
Yeah, 5. Yeah.
Yeah. How even that moment, and you pause it and you look at it and you're like you actually. I was looking at going, okay, so he's holding it this way, so he's literally. So you had to make sure that they got all the angles right, and perfect.
It would take so long to animate. And I just how good did the lightsabers look throughout this whole entire show?
They call them, I think
it was
calling them angry sabers. I don't know.
Yeah, it was chaotic. It was
Oh,
chaotic.
you know, and it so what's the word? It, the lightsabers had fit the emotion. You know, like the rage was in the lightsaber. The way it was just moving around. I thought, by the way, I thought the Inquisitors um, were probably the most sinister they've been in all the other series. Again, they've had time, they've perfected it, but that's what's beautiful about it. Like we know what happens to the Crow, and we know what happens to Mara, but in this, they were dark, man.
It was terrifying.
Mm.
It was I think they were literally the scariest I've ever seen Inquisitors. You know, you got them first in Rebels, and then you had other iterations through like Kenobi and things like that. But this, for me, they were terrifying. It was straight up stuff out of a horror movie or like a suspense movie, especially in last night's episode where you know they're at that bit where they can't cross yet, or they're crossing over the tar or the acid, and Docky just gets this feeling, ignites his saber, and then they just come screaming through. There's no warning.
None.
Like I was just like, these guys are scary as f.
Did you see the how we haven't really talked about the other characters like Lawson and Two Boots, and I like them, but I said on an episode by myself that I think I kind of had enough of Lawson, like he's done his bit, but I must admit last night's episode with Two Boots and him, like, but Two Boots he's come up with some ripper lines, bro. Ripper lines.
It's that actor too. I think. I don't know if you're familiar with. I can never pronounce his name properly, but it's the guy from the IT Crowd.
Yes.
So it's a British TV show I have been fond of due to my fiance showing me when we first got together. It's hilarious, and he's hilarious, and everything he does. Oh, highly recommend. Very silly. But there's other Star Wars connections in there as well too. The other actors that have gone on.
The line that gets me is he says two things. It's the one where he's talking and he goes, "Yes, but you know what? He doesn't look very trustworthy." That was a classical. I thought that was brilliant. He goes, "He's telling the truth, but he doesn't look very trustworthy." And then the other one was when they were underneath the city and there was like all the acid stuff, and he goes, "I'm going to put a formal complaint." And you actually saw Ducky turn with MAUL, and they just looked at him.
Yeah. I was just about to bring that one up. That cracked me up because it's like he's still like, even though he's aiding and abetting fugitives and he's now a fugitive himself, he's still thinking like a protocol droid or like a cop droid would. Like, I have to report this. Oh, wait, it can wait. Yeah, it's not important.
The way they turn, and that's the funny thing about MAUL, seeing these little sides of MAUL that, you know, like this is Sith Lord, and here he is turning and looking at a droid for making, a funny type of remark. But I have to say with Two Boots, what is great about the character is they weren't, it was slightly annoying, but not too annoying. But when he got into a jam with his blaster, how good was he?
I was waiting for him to turn into not so much of a stuck-up droid. Like the fact that he was like, "Oh, let's just call the Empire." No, let's not do that, Two Boots. I've called the Empire. They're going to make everything okay because he thinks they're okay.
That's right.
But it was really only like in the last 4 episodes that you're seeing him, you know, they're taking away his famous Two Boots because they're not regulation. You know, they killed the other senior officer, the chick that was in the earlier episode. And it's switching on to him that, oh, the Empire's not what they say they are. And then when they got Lawson's son, it's like, oh, it's go time. I'm switching. I'm saving him.
Mm,
I'm coming to save your life.
that's
And
awesome.
then that was the turning point.
I
I
love,
thought he was going to die too.
yeah. We've seen too many droids sacrifice themselves, but I don't think, look, I don't think we've seen the end of Lawson. There's something about that, going into the mist and not seeing him perish, even though,
I feel like he took as many blaster bolts as that Zabrak did.
yeah, because I was like,
But there
okay,
was,
I would have liked to have seen, like, I want to see him, like, get worked out. I want to see him
you
get
want to
worked out.
see his.
His corpus, I want to see the body, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like I don't think they will. Like I was pretty certain that he got killed,
It's kind of
and
the,
then
sorry.
no, you're right. Like to me, it was very definitive. I didn't like notice this like disappearing into the smoke.
Oh, should watch it again.
All right, tonight's homework. Watch it again.
Oh,
It's not even homework. It's just
yeah, I've got to check. But you know what? The reason being too is like, how much did we feel this way when Tech fell in the Bad
yeah.
Batch? Do you know
Oh,
what I
that he
mean?
was going to come back next
I
season.
I thought he was coming back. I
Yeah,
thought we're going to see him. He's going to be half clone, half droid, or something, because
yeah.
they've already done that with Echo. But yeah, it took me. I still didn't believe until the final episode when I saw those glasses. I was like, oh, well, he's not coming back.
Yeah, he's done for.
It's just that it just went into the mist. So maybe that was a little hard
So,
approach to Bad Batch.
so I wonder in season 2 if Lawson's son's going to have some sunnies or something, or a blaster to remember him by. This is the MacGuffin to show that he's dead, and I will avenge my father.
Wait, Two Boots, he's not gone. I'm sorry, he's really gone. He's so gone. Sorry, Riley, he's dead. And like I said, that was pretty traumatic. It's interesting to see what the relationship, where Riley, if they bring him in, because here's this boy who's lost his dad and obviously very emotional. But then, she's lost the master, and this is this young woman who's just want to kill them all. I want revenge. I'm upset. It's just the difference in these. Obviously, one's a Jedi and one's just a normal person. You know.
Everyone's grieving except for Mole, because Mole's like, haha, it's all working according to my plan.
Looking down. Dryden Voss, man. What do you
Mine.
think?
Ooh, yeah, we haven't even spoken about Voss yet. I was very annoyed that it wasn't Paul Bettany doing the
Yeah,
voice.
me too. That would have been
But
killer.
it's Paul Bettany. It's Paul Bettany. You're not going to get him back for one episode of a TV show.
No. You tell me he can't take time to come out and make everybody happy for a little bit. Just come on, Paul.
Yeah, he clearly was too busy, or they just didn't even bother asking. But yeah, I was very happy with the performance.
Yeah.
It was nice because he was teased in season 7 of Clone Wars. There was a hologram image of him with all the heads of the crime syndicates. So I was like, they've made a model. It's just as and when they're going to use it. And I thought they used him very well. And one of my favorite characters, who was like the gangster, was that little Vario dude.
Oh, he's good.
He was like the typical Italian mobster gangster,
Just slimy
wise guy. Yeah.
And he was very, very good. And again, you're thinking, what's the reason for him? But he's a good go-between guy. He knows what needs to get done. He does the dirty work. He's there. But even like, I don't know too much about the characters themselves. But I just quickly side note to William Boss, Dryden was. I love the way he called him Lord Maul.
Yes.
Everyone called him Maul, but he called him Lord Maul. So for him, he's still high esteem for him. That was pretty awesome.
Which is cool as well, because even MAUL says, what, Crimson Dawn screwed me over before. What, if I do this, like, don't screw me over again, because I will wreak havoc.
Mm. How much like do you I personally like I say again, I said in the previous episode, I love the Pikes, man. I love the Pikes and Black Suns. I love that gangster stuff in Star Wars. I think is awesome as
Yeah.
rock and roll, and the characters themselves are just dynamite. And I obviously picking these um, the characters from like season 7 of the Clone Wars. So the Pike we seen with Ahsoka, I don't know. I don't think it's the same Pike that we saw when Obi-Wan and Anakin and Dooku. Remember that when they saw not Cypher Dyas, they were looking for Cypher Dyas. Do you remember that episode?
So that's season 6, like the lost episodes.
Uh,
I need to catch up on that. It's been a very long time.
season 6. So it's really towards the end, and they're just high, man. The Pikes are just always high, just talking really chill, but just bad dudes, man. But the Black Suns, man, I love the black. I want to see some
Are
Black
the
Suns.
blacks? Are the Black Suns the
Green.
what were those? Yeah,
The episode, great episode when Maul gets them all together.
chops all their heads off.
Oh, ripper. You know,
Yeah, I
I think it was
rewatched all the
Savage.
MAUL Clone Wars
Savage do it.
episodes.
I think
Was
Savage
it,
just took them
yeah,
out.
just beheads them at the table.
And then he
Great.
goes, it looks like you're the new Black Suns leader. And he goes, we will do whatever you say. It's all good. We're good. You know?
Yeah.
But that's what's going to be good is going into the underbelly again. And I think this will be, again, making the story, the Star Wars animation story, very serious in that regard, um, really emotional, but, a lot's on the line.
But they're pushing new ground with the violence, I think, as well, like the graphic violence. Like Clone Wars has always been violent, but it's a stylized violence. But this one, like the blaster bolts, the saber hits were visually grotesque. And I was like, oh, they're doing something. They're going hard on this one. Because I was like, oh, maybe I can show it to my daughter. She's 5 and a bit. I showed her the first episode, and it's when Vario shoots that big gangster, and you see all the bullet holes. She's just like, Dad, why is there so many guns? And I was like, you're not ready.
Yeah.
You're not ready. Well, bad dad. Bad dad.
Like, she's 5. I started my son at 2. So, no, we're not bad dads. We just get that. They understand it. They see it. But as long as they see Maul and it puts a smile on their face, Maul, Daddy,
Yeah.
It's Darth Vader and Maul. That's all we want. But you know what, bro? That's true. That it's coming together really well. This episode, this series, and I'm glad to have seen that final duel. And just quick kind of chat before we finish up and stuff. Darth Vader, one hand dueling Maul, and even Maul not knowing who Vader was. That was huge.
Which is killer, because in the season 7, his whole plan is to kill Anakin. He's trying to stop this, and now it's happened, and he's like, who the hell is this guy? You're not an Inquisitor. You're too powerful to be an Inquisitor. Also, I'll send it to you afterwards on Messenger, but I noticed something that was mirroring Return of the Jedi. Vader is striking Docky the exact same way that Luke strikes Vader on the bridge in that final fight. He's going bam, bam, bam. I was like,
awesome.
It's exactly the same. Awesome. It looks exactly the same. And did you notice Vader doesn't say a single goddamn word, because the boogeyman, like Michael Myers, does it, and Jason, they don't need to speak. Their presence is fear alone. It was chef's kiss.
Well said.
Love it.
Well said. bro. Let me
I
tell you.
said it on the. No, I said that I mentioned the same boogeyman thing I commented on the official Australian Star Wars page, and they replied back to me
What do they say?
saying like basically, I don't like going on my phone while I'm live, but they did say, where is Instagram? They said, I said, watching the boogeyman return, and then they said that they said they were still shaking.
That's awesome.
I was quivering. My jaw, like my mouth was quivering when he first appeared. My fiance was outside grabbing the mail because I had yesterday off, and I'm watching it during the day. The front door's wide open, and Vader appears, and I go, "Get like," and she comes in and goes, "What's wrong?" I go, "Darth Vader's returned, and he's fighting MAUL." Like, how cool is that? How freaking cool!
Because I'm in the warehouse and I'm watching it, and I just stood up and I was like, because obviously, you saw Root get taken and he was like, and again, you wanted it, but you didn't know, you weren't sure, and that breathing comes through, and when he comes out through the mist and light and that whole that's his thing, light up his
very
face.
Rogue One.
But how good did he look? He was season 7 Vader. Do you know what I mean? Like the whole animation of Vader had that season 7 finale when he picks up Ahsoka's lightsaber. Like it had that kind of look. Rebels Vader's different. Obviously, the different kind of,
I feel like he was like in certain parts of the episodes, he looks live action.
No, dude.
Like I felt like how they animated him was done with such care and detail that there's certain shots that I was like, I'm looking at a live action fight. The only thing that's taking me back is like the way the lightsabers are mechanically moving and the backgrounds are painted and the brush strokes you can clearly see. But it was.
They also really like.
No, you're right. You go.
We got. It's so much to talk.
I know. I'm bustling, man.
Dude, imagine when we do it here together. We'll be like looking at.
I know.
I use my hands a lot, bro.
Same here.
But he again. I love where he just is, like you were talking about Mike Myers and that, just moving slowly, walking, never rushing. Using the Force. I think the use of the Force was amazing, was insane. When holding a lightsaber, then MAUL is holding the lightsaber. They're both.
Yeah, they're both
unbelievable. Force pushing him back. They needed 2 to do it. He just needed 1. But the one-handed duels, the one-handed is just phenomenal. But you're right, that power.
But what about that scene where they're in that building, like the wreckage of the building, and he force pushes and all you see is his hand? Because I was just like, what? It was, like, for me being like a fan of horror movies and suspenseful, like I've always liked a bit of comedy with my horror because I'm a bit of a, don't like something too scary.
Yeah.
Need a bit of humor to lighten it up. But this was very, like, they nailed the tension. They nailed, like, the jump scares, basically. It was just, incredible. And just to go back on Lawson, I feel like he's going to be in the new season because, his final wish, not the dad's dead, definitely dead. The son's in it.
I think it just said Lawson.
Yeah. But he was Riley. Like, get Riley to his mum. So I feel like there's going to be a small story element where, maybe they join a rebellion or try and sway the mum away from the Empire. And then Vader's definitely got to come back. I don't know how you bring him back because you don't want to just have him for the big bad at the end of the show. It needs to be done properly with meaning.
They did that with in Rebels. They brought him back towards the end, and then the first season, or is it the other way around? In the first season, they brought him back just for a beginning, and then he made an appearance later in the end. Because again, so we've seen Maul fight Vader in Rebels. That was towards the end of his life. So that's like, so he has to. He's got to have another duel with him. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to see how he actually gets his mechanical legs fixed up a bit more. That'll be interesting to see. You know,
because his Sith, it's the witches, the Dathomir witches. Is that even a thing anymore? The Night Sisters.
I'd like to think they still are, because don't forget, Marek becomes
he's the fart gas in Ahsoka
of the Night Sisters. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see where, you know, if he does. Ooh, Merrin.
Brains ticking.
What do you reckon? Cal Kestis, Merrin coming in. She's a Night Sister.
Ooh. I still need to play the second game.
Oh.
And I need to finish the first game, actually. Yeah. I'm shocking.
You know what, dude, man? I don't know how you're going to start it now, because there's so much now in front. Like, it's like one of these things. I never got it. I played the Force Unleashed for a little bit age ago, but then I stopped playing it. Then you try to get back into it. It's too hard. You know, you just got to watch the videos.
Well, we bought the second game only last week because we bought a PlayStation maybe just a month ago, or like probably a month ago, because I'm getting ready for GTA 6.
Yeah.
So I was like, the first game we're going to buy is a Star Wars game. So Sash bought it last week during the week, and we've only played it once or twice. It was the Jedi
Survivor,
not Outlaws, Survivor. This whatever the second one is with Cal Kestis.
Yeah. So there's what's the one?
Well, there's Fallen Order and then Survivor. Yeah.
Yes, Fallen Order, Survivor.
Yeah.
So you've done the second one, not the first one.
So I started the first one, but then stopped really early in it because I have a tendency to be a terrible gamer and rage quitter. Tend to just watch Sash play games more so. That's like cool. Even now, she was like, "Do you want to play?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm good watching you play. You do way better than me." So
that's awesome. That's good. That's killer. I wish my wife did that. You know, that's okay.
Yeah, Sash is the gamer.
But wait.
That's awesome.
Wait till GTA 6 comes in. But
I've booked a week-long service for that.
Nice. I should
kind of plans in because we're on the Wednesday night, we've got a concert at the entertainment center, me and the missus. So then the Thursday, which is the release day, is my mother-in-law's birthday, and then GTA comes out. So I was like, I want to take the day off so I'm not going to be hungover from the concert. And GTA and the birthday. I was like, I'll just book a week. So
when's that coming out? In
19th of November.
Okay, plenty of time. And talking about seeing Grogu, Mando and Grogu, you're going to the midnight screening?
I'm going to the midnight screening at Marion, and then I'm back. So I'll see the midnight screening, then I will wake up, do school drop-off, daycare drop-off, and then I'm back down at Marion for a 12 o'clock session.
Nice.
And if life permits me being away for X amount of hours, I might duck out to a late session up at Mount Barker.
That's good. Well,
in the evening.
I do. I'll try and get to that Marion, the 12 o'clock session. I'll see how that works out. If not, I'm just going to go the next day. But I've got a lot to talk about. But Lochy, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, go ahead. You can have a...
No, I was about to say, if you do see a session, I'm more than happy to come along if life permits. I've got the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, so I'm going to try and cram in as many sessions as possible in the Thursday. Take my mum on the weekend sometime.
Beautiful.
and because they took me to all the Star Wars movies from the 97 releases all throughout the prequels. So I've done the favors with Force Awakens, Rogue One. I didn't do Rise of Skywalker or Last Jedi. They sort of fizzled out. But Mandalorian, I'll definitely take my mum and dad. So
Are you going to take the little one to her to see it?
I have been and ahhing. I really wanted to, but we had a discussion, and I think it's going to be too violent for her. She's a
Yeah.
she doesn't understand like blasters and guns and death so much at the moment. So
Yes. My son was Force Awakens came out when
2015, so 11 years ago.
guys. So I didn't take him. So I went to Rise of Skywalker, and that would have been a year later or two, maybe 2 years later,
That
2017,
15, 16, 17, 18, 4 years after, so it was 2019.
2019. So my son was 8 when I took him. So, but look, there'll be more for the kids to see. And but you know what?
Oh yeah,
There's nothing better than going to a cinema with your kid and not.
we go see kids movies, and it's the best.
It's the
And
Star Wars. I'm
I
talking.
oh yeah, I've said to her, and she really wanted to come because she's not a Star Wars fan, but she knows Daddy is. So it's very much I wanted to take her to her first Star Wars movie, and I think I was thinking more so of myself more than her. So she's going to watch it at home with me once it's available, and if it's too violent, we'll turn it off.
Yeah,
But next year, when Starfighter comes out with Ryan Gosling, I think she'll be 6 and a bit years old. I think she'll be raring to go.
that's good. It's that beginning scene. It makes you feel very proud, man. I'll be honest. Like the funniest thing was with my son because I'd shown him what he'd been watching in the videos and everything, and obviously in the rise the Last Jedi, um, you see Luke, and because he'd seen all the Luke in all the movies, the first thing he actually screamed out when we saw Luke, he goes, "Dad, why is Luke so old?" The whole cinema
Yeah,
started to laugh and stuff like. But it's true. I didn't even think about it. I've been forcing
yeah.
him into getting, and he's been taking all this information in, then only to realize that wait a second, he's this guy, you know,
Like these movies at the time were like 40 years old.
big time.
So
But brother, let me just say a big thank you. I've been very excited to have this chat with you, and definitely looking forward to doing a lot more with you if you permit and be a part of it. Because, mate, it's just good having a good yarn, and hopefully other people like to listen in and chat and enjoy it.
100%. Thank you for having me.
Awesome, my brother.
Very, very proud to be a part of it.
We'll talk soon. As always, thank you, everyone. Look, just check out Kessel Run Hair and Collectibles when you come in. It's an awesome place to come and get a haircut and have a chat about Star Wars. And as always, may the force be with you. And punch it.
Budget.